All right, so we're gonna dive into this game. Now, we're not going to belabor you with a bunch of initial rules explanation right up front. We're going to dive in, and when we get to combat, we'll talk about combat. When we get to some of the unique interactions that can happen in this first chapter, we'll talk about them then. We're not going to try to explain kind of everything out of the gate. I think that's probably the best way to play this game because, as Greg has in the rules, it's the setup is almost non-existent. You take the deck of cards and you put it in front of you and you start taking them off the top. Now, I have pulled some cards in advance, and that's purely because on Vorpal Board, it would be a little bit difficult to do some of the things that Hildegard requires. But the way that the game would normally start, the entire deck would just be sitting in front of you. There wouldn't be any other cards out here that you're going to be dealing with. And then one note for folks who may have never seen one of our streams before, everything you see here, we are playing in a web browser together. The videos, the pointers, the cards, all that stuff. It's part of a product called Vorpal Board. If you're interested in Vorpal Board, just go to our website, vorpalboard.com, and you can see how we do this stuff and how you can use this tool to play your own games remotely with friends. So, okay. So we're going to dive in. This is the main deck. So it's a story deck, and we're just going to be drawing cards off the top of the story deck. And as you draw cards, you're going to be told to maybe pull future cards out of the deck or move to a future card in the deck. And you're going to be skipping and jumping around a little bit, which is sort of an exciting part of how these games work, because you see that you just skipped 10 cards. So there's other things you missed, so you can go back and play again and make different decisions, and the story branches pretty widely as you play. So right off the gate, the deck says to reveal one of 3 starting cards. So we're just going to draw the 3 starting cards face down to the table. And this is our first choice as a player. We get to choose one of these 3 cards. And from here, all of our choices are going to affect how the game proceeds. So sometimes I might ask chat what you think you want to do. And sometimes I might just make this decision for myself. In this case, I'm going to choose this middle one. That's where we're going to start. And so I'm just going to flip it over. And here we go. For the Baroness, you wake to the promise of adventure. A small package has been dropped at your doorstep, your first delivery. It's a hastily wrapped box with instructions. It's to be delivered in pristine condition to the Baroness of Seacrest Cliffs. Gain 3 gold, pull cards 88, 89, and 90, and then we're going to either go to the Mercantile or we're going to go to Breakfast. And this is how Hildegard works, that you're going to make a decision as a player. You're either going to say, I want to go to the Mercantile to buy some stuff, or I'm going to go eat. And that's how the decisions are going to make. You'll see the card number there. All the cards have the number on the back of them, and that's how you're going to know which card you're going to jump to. So a question in chat, couldn't tell, was there anything different on the 3 card backs? There isn't. So you're just going to get 3 different card backs. And you'll see the way the nomenclature here works is you see the 1 3 times. You'll see that more as we play through when there's a decision to be made. All the cards will have the same number, and you'll see a number of them next to each other.
Which is a little different from Spire's End. I didn't have that in place. I called it a mirror card the first time. We only had a few of them. But in this game, I've added a few things, and one of them was this multiple version of a single card.
So this is a perfect example of the pull mechanic, and this is some of the cards that I pulled in advance, right? So we're going to pull 88, 89, and 90, and we're going to flip those over, and you can just imagine that I shuffled through this deck and pulled these cards out. Okay. All right, and so right off the gate, we get a inventory card, a character card, where this is where we're going to keep track of stuff that we gather. This is where we're going to keep track of our inventory. This is Hildegard, the hero of our story. And so I'm going to put her up here. I get a slingshot and pebbles, so I get an item right out of the gate. And this is going to go into my inventory. If you've played Spire's End, the inventory system is similar. You put the card underneath your character, and you have this bottom section that says slingshot hanging out below, and you just sort of stack them below as you get more cards into your inventory. Interestingly, there's a thing called, we're not going to get into it quite yet, but this slingshot allows you to roll what's called a black wild shot die. And you'll see why that is important and how that comes into play once we get into our first combat encounter. So I'm going to take this card, I'm going to put it in my inventory right underneath my Hildegard card, and then I have a mysterious package. So you pick up the package and turn it over. It's wrapped in paper with some light markings here and there. You don't recognize them. As much as you would like to give it a shake, you don't. Well, not yet. Wonder if you'll ever know its contents. For now, it will remain a mystery. And then we just place it in our inventory. And so the cool thing about this game is that a lot of times you get stuff and you don't know how or why it's going to impact later decisions. And there's a lot of branching in this game. I would say much more than Spire's End, Greg. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, 4 times as much. The first chapter has more cards than all of Spire's End, more or less, yeah. It's supposed to be 100 cards a chapter, but I couldn't even do it in 100 cards. I think it's like 110 for the first one. So it was more complicated to do one chapter of this than all of the other game.
Cool. Very cool. So anyway, I have my package. I got my slingshot. So now I'm just going to move these cards off into my little discard pile. And then we're going to go to breakfast. I mean, if we're going to go on an adventure, we got to get some food in us, right? So
most important meal of the day.
Yeah, right. I've heard that one before. All right, so we're at the Hungry Hog. Before embarking into the wild, you decide a hearty breakfast at the Hungry Hog is in order. You haven't eaten since yesterday and your stomach is growling. Farfally, the barkeep, asks you what you'll have. I don't know. I mean, I'm a porridge and coffee guy. Greg, you know
porridge.
Well,
porridge, huh?
I'm an oatmeal. I'm oatmeal. Not yeah. I don't call it porridge.
Grits and
right.
Coffee.
All right. So we're gonna do.
Everyone wants coffee.
Okay, we're gonna do coffee. All right, porridge and coffee. We're going to card 4. All right. So here is where I will actually.
Can we actually?
Sure.
Can we stop real quick on that one? So there is another artist that's doing a few things for the game. And this is one of the 2 pieces that he's done so far. This is Cy Gardner's work, and he's a concept artist and works on video games and movies and things like that. Really cool stuff. So yeah, he's going to tackle a few outdoor environments. So if we don't want to have some characters in there and we want to have a structure or something like that, we're going to give Diego a little break and throw in a few from Cy, and he's really cool. He's really enthusiastic, and I really look forward to having him on here too. So this is one of the ones, and I colored it for him. It was another one of those things I felt I know he was a little iffy on what I did with it, but he's allowed it to go for now. So this may change. He said he may want to go in there and tweak it a little bit. But so yeah, that's the first one he did.
Cool.
So
all right, so yeah, we're doing coffee, right? Like porridge and coffee. The chat seems to agree. So we're going to go to card 4. So this is an example of where, like, if you had the physical cards in front of you, right, you'd see 3. I'm just going to dump 3. 3. If you pass it, if you're moving as a choice and you go past a card, you're not coming back to that card. So you don't have to worry about keeping those cards separate that you might be able to pull, deal with them later. If you are told to pull a card, you actually find it in the deck and pull it out and then flip it over. So it's the 2 different kind of ways that you're going to interact with the cards. So we don't have to worry about card 3. So we'll just put that in the garbage, and then I'm going to draw card 4.
You always move forward in the game.
Yep.
There's never any backtracking.
Yeah, that's probably that's a much shorter way of saying what I said. Thank you, Greg.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a conscious choice for better, for worse. There's good things about it and bad things about it, but that's kind of how the game is structured.
All right, behind the curtain, you slurp up the last of your porridge, down the rest of your coffee, and pay up. Pay 1 gold for breakfast. Oh, I foolishly forgot to get my 3 gold at the beginning of the game. You barely get out the door when a stout man with odd spectacles blocks your path. You're late. Get in the wagon. All right, so while we're doing that, Greg, do you generally use the gold tokens for
yes.
gold?
Okay, yeah, so cool. Yeah, the gold tokens should be used for the gold, and I would just drop them on top of the character card.
Cool. And the game will ship with a whole bunch of dice. You'll see the dice here real soon, but then also a bunch of cubes. And so
but not too many.
What, the dice?
Not too many. Not too many cubes like last time. You won't have as many of those 8mm people. They were like, "There's too many of those."
Yeah.
I tried to condense that this time.
Okay, so we can either play along with this guy or say, I'm not doing that. I don't want to do this. I don't want to go with this guy. I don't like his look. So I'm going to say, because for the moment, I'm going to be making the decisions. I'm going to say I'm not going with this guy. Sorry, dude.
Did you got to pay one for
Oh,
breakfast?
sorry. Yeah, I got to pay my breakfast. Thank you. The barkeep is ticked off at me. All right, so I'm not doing it. I'm not going to go with this guy. So now.
And can I make one other?
Yeah,
sorry,
sure.
Can I make one more quick? So that illustration is one of the, I think the only of 2 illustrations by the artist from the last game. So that's Benjamin Wisen's illustration. That was the one that he did.
Very cool.
So anyhow.
So you have an artist who was working on the game from Chile. You have an artist from Germany. And where's Cy from?
He is in the UK.
Oh wow! So this is a truly international affair. That's cool.
Yeah. It's more fun that way.
Yeah. All right. So, I'm not doing that. We're not dealing with this guy. So right off the bat, one of the things I noticed right away when I was playing with you the first time, Greg, is a whole bunch of cards I just burned, right? Which immediately piques my interest. That's like, oh my gosh, what did I miss already? Already I've missed a whole bunch of stuff, which is cool. That tickles my brain to say like, all right, I can't wait to next time play along with this guy and see what would have happened, essentially. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the whole point. Hopefully, you're going to want to see what's behind those cards and unearth them.
Uh-oh. All right. So
here we go.
This is our first combat. All right. So we're dealing with the card peddler. I'm going to give you a quick overview of what the combat, kind of stats on the card look like right after I read the description. The spectacled man won't take no for an answer. Wait, you must have this or else, he spouts, then reaches into his jacket pocket. You're alarmed by his forcefulness. Okay, so when you get into a combat situation in this game, there's 2 different ways you can have combat situations. One is a basic combat that we're going to deal here, and then later on, we're going to deal with enemies that can kind of fight back against you. This enemy, we're just going to try to hit him enough that he leaves us alone and we can get away. If we hit him, you can see at the bottom of the card, we're going to go to 27. If we miss, we're going to go to 28. All right, that's what the bottom of the card is. Now let's start in the top left corner. You can see the number of bullseyes I'm going to have to get to defeat this guy. I need to get 1 bullseye. And I'm going to generate bullseyes by matching symbols on dice. We're going to talk about that in just a second. But I need 1 to win. I have an accuracy of 3 for this combat encounter, which means I get to roll 3 dice. And I get to do 1 set, which is a whole series of rolling those 3 dice. It's a combination of rolling and then what's called finessing the dice. And I'm going to show you what that means in a second. On the right, top right corner, is a sort of a bonus condition. If I'm able to roll those 3 dice and get a circle, a dot, and a half circle, those 3 exact shapes, that's a bonus. You don't need it to defeat him. All I need is 1 bullseye to defeat him. But if I'm able to do that perfectly, I'll get a bonus. And every single enemy you fight, there's like a bonus condition. You can get bonus gold, or you can get essentially like some experience points that you can spend later on in the adventure. Then in the middle of the card, you can see which shapes, it's a circle and a dot, which shapes are valid to be used against this character. All right, so I'm going to show you what the dice look like. So I'll roll a bunch of them. And the dice
you
all
explain
have,
this better than I do.
So the dice have a bunch of symbols on the sides, right? And what you're going to need to do is roll dice and then take those symbols and kind of, I don't know the most common term for it, but it's kind of like Yahtzee style where you're locking in 1 die. We call it dice farming sometimes, but I don't know if that's universally used. But essentially you roll your dice, and in this case I'm going to roll 3 because that's my accuracy. And after each roll, I can stop right there if I got what I want. If I didn't get what I want, I can continue to what's called finesse the dice. And when I finesse the dice...
Finesse the shot.
I have to lock in 1 die, and then I can roll the rest. So in this example, I would roll 3, and let's say I got something I didn't like. I have to choose 1 of them to lock, and then I'd roll the other 2. And then I have to choose 1 of them to lock, and then I can roll the 1. So you get sort of a few rolls to try to get exactly what you need. But it's quick. You essentially roll, pick them up, roll, pick them up, roll, pick them up. And then once you're done finessing, you're going to roll what's called a wild shot die. The wild shot die is based on what weapon you're using. And in this case, I'm using a slingshot. And I will roll the black wild shot die. And the wild shot die is kind of like a chance die. It can either be really good or it can be not so good, or it can be kind of random. So I'm going to try to roll, finesse my shot, and then roll the wild shot. And at the end, if I'm done with all that and I have enough bullseyes, I defeat the enemy. Now, this guy's pretty easy. It gets a lot harder than this guy as we go in terms of what you need to accomplish with your rolls. So, Greg, how did I do? Do you think that
you did great?
Kind of covered it?
Great. And it, of course, yeah, you did a wonderful job. And it becomes much easier once you actually see it. It's one of those things where it takes a while to explain it, but once you see it, it's like snap. It makes sense.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it. All right. So I'm going to roll 3 die. I get only 1 set. So that whole process I described of roll, finesse, wild shot, that's a set. Sometimes when you fight an enemy, you get multiple sets. This guy only get 1 set. So I have 1 shot to take him down. All right. So my first roll, I got 2 circles and a half circle, right? So I'm going to lock in just the 1 circle. I'm going to let that half circle go, even though the perfect, scenario is with using a half circle. I'm not going to do that one. I'm just going to lock in the circle. And then I get to roll 2 more. And I got junk. So I can't use these shapes because the only shapes that I'm allowed to use on this guy are the circle and the dot. But I have to lock in 1. So I'm going to lock in 1. And now I get to roll just 1 die. Yeah, so here we go. This poor little man in a top hat is going to beat me. I just know it.
Well, it's not that he beats you. You're going to...
Okay, so what that means is that this is my final roll. So if I was in the physical space, I'd have these die sitting in front of me. And this is, right now, a miss. But I get a wild shot, all right? So I get to fire off my black die. And there are 4 different types of wild shot die that you get throughout the game. So, and then once you have multiple available to you, you can choose which one you want to roll. And I'm sure that there are more mechanics that may come. I've only seen the first chapter. But these wild shot die are cool looking. And you'll see one right now. So I'm going to fire it off.
Yes.
Okay, so as you can see, Diego's rooting against me down there. I like it. So I got a bullseye on my wild shot die. So I got 0 off my normal dice, but I got the 1, so I beat him. And I didn't get the bonus because I didn't get this specific combination of dice, so I don't get the bonus gold. But I hit him. And so, like Greg said, it does, once you kind of know the rules, it's bam, bam, bam. This is how you play single player. We're going to do a couple of encounters just with the 1 player, and then we'll talk about how we'll do it with 2 players.
One just quick note.
Yep.
So the one thing about this is a target card, meaning that you're just shooting at the target. There's no back and forth. It's just a quick, you're firing at them and whether or not you hit them.
Yeah, and then we will see once you fight these enemies that they try to go after you. This guy, we're just pretty much trying to get away from him, shoot him, and get the heck out of here, I assume. But we're going to find out because we hit him. So we get to do move forward to card 27. And definitely in the chat, if I'm going too fast or some of this doesn't make sense, just harass me. We'll be able to get it figured out. All right, so I got to get to card 27.
So many cards.
Yeah, there are so many cards, right? So it's very cool to me that we just popped through all of those, and there's all sorts of interesting stuff to be done in there. So yeah, Holistic Developer, here's a zoom in on the card backs. So Greg, correct me if I'm wrong here, each chapter will have a unique card back, and do you want to talk at all about what those may look like or surprise people?
Well, right now, they have just a different color with this image on it, but throughout there's card backs like the fishing one, and there'll be special ones kind of thrown in. Like if you make it to a special place, there might be a card back that represents that.
Cool. And before we move on, I for folks in the know who've seen Vorpal Board before, one thing I'll mention is, as part of this stream, we're also testing card backs. This is the first time we've ever shown having card backs in Vorpal, either on the decks or on the cards. So if anything weird happens, it is our fault. It is not Greg's fault. So if you see anything strange happen tonight, it's because of the system. All right. So A scrap. Outrageous. You could have broken my glasses. See, this guy, I don't like this guy. He's just complaining immediately. An unsavory sort like yourself doesn't deserve this, but I do what she tells me. Take it, please. I haven't all day. The little man waves the card in your face like he's giving a stray dog a scrap of meat. I have no idea what you're saying. What's this about? You question. I'm old, I'm tired, and I'm about to leave. You have to the count of 3. Well, we have to, I don't know. Should we take it? I think we should take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
If I may.
Okay. All right.
That's probably unfair. That's probably unfair being who I am.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna go to card 59. We're gonna pull card 86, and then before advancing to card 59, we roll the black die. If it's a bullseye, pull card 65. Okay. So we're gonna roll a wild shot black. Oh, all right. Ooh. Sweet. So we got a bullseye, which means...
But first we got to pull card 86.
Yeah, we're going to pull card 86, and then we're also going to get to pull card 65. Okay, so I'm actually... Go ahead.
Which I will add, I mean, I don't know how many countless playthroughs I've done, and this has never happened.
Oh, all right. So this is a first time deal.
Yeah.
All right, so hold on.
Which is so cool to see something that hasn't happened yet.
yeah, exactly. So hopefully I don't screw it up for you, and it's bad. All right, so
no.
All right, so we're gonna pull card 86. Just gonna drop that into the session.
Okay, so this is gonna have a really cool tarot card picture with a hawk in there. So Diego can start thinking about that.
All right, so the mark of the hawk. All right, so you can't say for sure, but you feel different. In some instances going forward, you may be able to use the Mark of the Hawk ability, place in your inventory. So this introduces another concept. So there's a little hawk icon on this card that if we can use it, that iconography is used later on. So you'll be able to see it in your inventory that I have this Mark of the Hawk. And if I'm able to later on use the Mark of the Hawk, I'll just see that little hawk head right there. So that's cool. All right, so I pulled card 86, and then I get to pull card 65. So is this the one that you haven't seen, Greg, where somebody rolls the bullseye?
Yeah, no one's done it yet, except for me.
Yeah.
I've done it plenty, but...
All right, 65. Ooh. So this is... I saw what this card looked like. I'm now nervous about this situation. Oh, man. All right, so the Stalker. This is bad news. A robed figure stands in your way. You could have sworn he wasn't there moments earlier. All right, so if this guy looks a whole lot like some of the dudes from Spire's End, which...
Man, I wonder why that would be.
Yeah, I wonder why. Okay, so this guy you can see is a good deal harder than the bespeckled man that I just dealt with. I need to get 5 bullseyes. I'm going to have an accuracy of 4, and I get to do 3 sets. So you're going to get to see a bunch of the combat here, and I have to match only black halves and white halves. So this is going to be a tricky one. All right, so go ahead.
Who's going to roll? Diego, you want to roll?
Diego, you want to roll some of these?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's
Put
try.
you on the spot here.
Yeah.
All right, so you got to roll 4 at a time. Yeah. 4 shot die.
I have 4 shot die.
Yep.
Okay.
And then once you do 4, there they are.
Oh, there they go.
All right. So
that's very bad.
Nothing. Oh, no. Okay. So we get nothing. We'll just lock in a circle. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
All right. So now you get to roll 3. You get to roll 3, Diego.
Do better this time. Oh my gosh.
Okay. So that's not good.
Yeah.
All right, roll 2.
I know.
Okay, all right. We got a half.
All right. It's possible.
Yeah, now just roll this. roll a black half on this one, and we're in business.
I have to roll 1?
Yep.
Yeah, you roll 1. Either bullseye side, and you'll be in good shape. Your chances are good, and they're not that good.
All right, so we missed,
Sorry.
but we get our
Sorry.
we get our wild shot. So Diego, you can roll the
Yeah, you still could
wild
do
shot
this.
black, just one of these, and maybe we'll get a bullseye. Hey!
Yes.
All right, so we got 1. So
I
if
hit my lamp.
you remember our conversation before, we have 3 sets this time, and it's cumulative. So on the first set, we got 1 bullseye. So we have to get 4 more bullseyes in 2 sets. So we repeat that, which this is going to be a little bit tricky, but that's okay.
Yeah, you've kind of set yourself up for failure, but you know.
All right, so I'm gonna turn this into a counter right here, so we can just keep track of our bullseye. So we've got 1 on them. So then we would start that process over again. We just start over with 4 dice. So have at it, Diego.
Let's go.
Hey,
All right.
we already got 1.
Yeah.
All right.
1 round, yeah.
So it's worth noting that you can lock more than 1. So I don't think we ever mentioned that, but you can lock more than 1. So we have 1
Now we
bullseye
roll
already.
Lock in is me.
Yep.
Now we roll 2.
We do.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Well, you got to leave 1. So.
And then yes.
Oh
but,
boy.
But unfortunately, we can't.
but-
yeah. So that's perfect, right? That's a perfect example of this would be a bullseye, but since this particular character, we are only allowed to make bullseyes using the black or white halves. We don't get the benefit of that. So so we did get 1. We're at 2, and roll a wild shot die here, Diego. Maybe you'll get lucky.
There's still a chance.
Yeah, we got a shot. Oh, okay. So we need to get 3 on our last set, which is possible,
still possible.
but a tall order.
It's a tall order.
We're so optimistic.
You can do this.
Yeah, I have faith in you, Diego. All right, so let's do it.
Go.
Hey, there's 1.
All right.
All right, so we got 1 to start, a similar start to last time. We just need to do that exact same thing again.
Let's go.
Okay, so that's going to make it so we fail.
Yeah, that's it. That's where it is.
Because even if the most we could get is 2 more to get to 4. So we busted out. Okay.
So here's where we.
I figured when I saw it goes to 70 on a miss, I thought maybe the hand of God would be coming down and saving us from this encounter.
Yeah, see, this is one of those things where we have to make a decision as far as this playthrough goes.
Right.
Because this guy, he's the stalker, and he can only show up occasionally, very rarely, and he may not. He's not our friend.
All right, so if you think for the sake of our play here, we're gonna imagine we beat him, yeah.
I think we may have to imagine we beat him.
That's fine. That's
Diego ruined the narrative.
Right.
Sorry.
When I go up and talk to my kids in the morning,
I don't want to
tomorrow-
draw more cards. So yeah. End of the chapter.
All right, so Stalker's we got him, guys. Congratulations. Great rolling, Diego. When I put it on YouTube, I'll have a little technical difficulties slide come up.
The snow.
Yeah, and then oh wow, that's unbelievable. You did so good. Okay.
So, there's an example of how things can go wrong or go south very early on.
Yeah. I love it. So we won't show what happens. It could be an end. It could be just a really bad thing happens. Who knows? Anything could happen. A question from Holistic Developer in chat, Greg. So with Mark of the Hawk, generally when we would use it, is it the type of thing where it would be if you have it, you go here. If you don't have it, you go here, or is it when you're in combat, you get some sort of bonus?
It can be either.
Okay, cool.
It could be. It actually can be three things. It can be one of those things where it's like, if you have it, you go one way. It can also be, if you have it, you can do this or do this. And there are times in combat where if you were to have that thing, something else different might occur.
Okay, cool. Very cool. Okay, so essentially we go back to where we were. So if we had defeated the Stalker, it just said go back to your previous story card. So we're just going to be back on the story card we were on. And I accepted the card, and then we're going to 59. Okay, so we're going to draw through a bunch here. So many cards in this game, Greg. Diego, does this stress you out to see all the cards that you're going to need to draw?
Yeah, just for chapter 1.
Yeah.
I've blocked it out so that there's a lot of them where we use the same thing, or there's just copy. So don't worry.
All right, so we're on card
like rations. There we go.
Right. Yeah, that's right. There's a lot of text on this one. So, all right. So rations. It's setting in. You're leaving the Grey Oaks. Maybe one final stop at the Mercantile. To visit the Merc, pull cards 93, 94, and 95, unless already purchased. Now, we have 2 gold, so we could head to the Mercantile. At the outskirts of town, you're approached by an old woman. Her face bare.
Well, why don't we?
Go ahead.
Can we go to the Mercantile first?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, so we got to pull
go shopping.
93, 94, and 95, right? So let's see if we can buy anything cool. I think I went to the Mercantile in my previous purchases, in my previous playthroughs.
Or partially, I want to show these cards because these are done.
Yeah.
So we have some nice illustrations on there.
Oh yeah, and this is stuff I have not seen. So that's very cool. All right, so I'm going to grab these and bring them over.
In fact, that's the last image we did. The last illustration. The Boda bag.
All right, love it. All right, so we got 3 items that we could buy at the store. We're going to take a look at the art real quick. I like that little guy. Look at that little fish.
Yeah.
Any water placed inside will be safe to drink. Okay, that seems pretty good. And so this is another one of those things that if we have this item, we'll see the little enchanted Boda bag in our inventory, and this might save our ass sometime in the future. But it costs 3 gold, so I can't afford it. All right, grappling rope. May trade for midnight pelt. See, I like this. There's trading opportunities as well. So if I had already gotten a midnight pelt, meaning there was a way for me to get a midnight pelt earlier, I could trade the midnight pelt to get one of these items. I don't have a midnight pelt. I do have 2 gold though, so I could buy the grappling rope. The rope looks strong with a sharp set of barbs on the end to climb up and down when hooked. Handy indeed. Or I could buy a chestnut popper. Brisket beams as you look over a nondescript chestnut on a leaf. What's this, you ask? A chestnut popper, handed over to me by mistake during, a trade. You'd best not know the details. It can be used to... ... I'm buying the chestnut popper. Like, there's no way that I can't buy a mysterious unknown here. So that's what I'm buying. All right. I got to pay a gold. You know what this reminds me of, Greg? The first thing that popped into my head was the acorns from Willow.
Nice.
The little stone,
yes.
the stone acorns.
It's probably subliminally what that was. Now that you say it, I'm like, I channeled Willow once again.
Yeah, that has a permanent spot in my mind. So if I see a little nut or something, it's ignore the birds, follow the river. Pops into my head.
Follow the river.
Right. Okay, so we made a stop at the Mercantile, and we're outfitted a little bit better. And now we're going to... All right.
A sizable chunk of loot.
Yeah. At the outskirts of town, you're approached by an old woman, her face barely visible under a pointed hood. You there, you a fisherman? She asks. On occasion, you stammer. Well then, I know a place you can catch something for the both of us. A little fishing might not be a bad idea. And then sure show me the place is 60 or decline. I would rather fish alone. I think we let the old woman come along with us. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah.
Why not?
It's nicer to fish with somebody, I think, than by myself. I'm gonna say yeah. Let's do this. So we're going to
All right.
card 60. I just like that Greg's in the back of his mind, like, oh, these guys are about to get drowned by this old woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the other piece by Cy Gardner
Oh, cool.
that he did. So
Yeah.
really cool.
All right, you've got the touch. She leads you across Edgewater Bridge. I've tried here. Nothing bites, you groan. Listen, I need someone with a strong arm and the right touch. Cast all the way out to those cattails. I can't reach them myself. She hands you a fishing pole. The lure is an odd black stone. It's heavy. All right, so this woman definitely had something going on. You know, she's a witch or something, I'm sure. All right, so okay, here goes. We're gonna cast out into the cattails. We get to move to card 61. Cattails. Oh, cool. All right. So I've never done this one before, Greg, but this is like essentially me having an action. It's not me fighting something. It's me trying to cast correctly into the cattails. That's neat. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Skeptically, you take the beaten up fishing rod and give it a shake. It feels good enough, solid and balanced. You'll give it a try. So, Greg, you want to try this one with 2-player?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah. Why don't? Who wants to do it with me?
Okay. I'll roll with you.
Let's do it. Let's
Okay,
roll.
so let's chat quickly about what pool play is. So you can play with a second player,
Okay.
And there's a second character that's available, and we're gonna bring her in right now.
Let's wheel her out.
Yeah, she has her own card.
That's this is Hildegard's sister,
Cool.
little sister.
And she has a boomerang, and so the boomerang has a special skill. At the end of a set, you may add an additional half, right side half, I assume, because it looks like a boomerang. Was that kind of the thing you're going for there, Greg?
I'm gonna say yes.
All right, cool. That's good.
It's. I mean, I can tell you, it's because it's the most difficult piece, really, to use to be rolled. So I wanted to give it more purpose. If you had another character playing, that's all.
Cool. So this allows us to play with 2 players, and a bank shot can happen once per face-off, right? So you get to do this one time. But
that's only
when you're in face-off mode. So
so it doesn't do anything other times. Yeah.
Right. Face-off mode. We haven't done a face-off yet where you're fighting against an enemy and really kind of going one-on-one versus them. But you'll see that, I believe, shortly. And then you'll see her item that she starts with, the Boomerang of Herdis. Halvig named her homemade boomerang after her grandmother Herdis. With this boomerang, you can roll the black wild shot die at the end of each set. So she also gets the black wild shot die. All right. So here's how. Go ahead, Greg.
And obviously, all of these blank spots are where we're going to be populating it with, wonderful illustrations. But obviously, this is a demo, and we're trying to get this game made. So we got some work to do.
You don't have your games made before they go on Kickstarter?
We're trying.
I'm just giving you a hard time. Okay. All right. So let's talk pool play. So the way that it works is both players are going to get to roll. All right. So we both have the same accuracy. We have an accuracy of 4. Greg gets to go ahead.
I'm sorry. There's one rule change that I've made, which is to give, if you don't want it to be too easy, what you do is you give the second player a handicap. And the handicap would be that I would roll 1 less die. Second player would roll 1. So your accuracy would be 4, mine would be 3.
Okay, so you want to play.
I think that's the way we should do it.
Yeah, you want to do it that way. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I want to play at the handicap.
All right, so I'd roll the 4. Greg would roll accuracy -1, so he's got 3, and then we would lock in as normal. And then in order to finesse, if I want to finesse, I have to spend a die for the right to finesse. So in order to finesse, I throw away an additional die. I would lock whatever I want to lock, and then if I want to finesse, I have to spend a die, throw it away, and then I get to finesse. Same with Greg. And the benefit here is that makes it, your total number of dice rolled ends up being very similar to what it would be in a single player game. Go ahead.
And plus I can remove one of mine so that you can roll one of yours. So there's always a teamwork situation in play here where we need to kind of pool our dice together, decide which ones we want to toss so that, we can decide what to roll.
Yep. Cool. All right. So we start with 4 and 3. I'll roll my 4 and we'll see what we get out of those 4. we can use that black half.
Can I roll?
Yep, and then you roll 3. All right, and we got a white half and a dot.
Okay, I can't see mine in the. Am I supposed to see mine up there?
Yeah, I saw yours pop out. You got a dot, a blank, and a half bullseye, white half bullseye.
Okay.
So
Could you put the markers out so that I can see what you got and what I got?
oh yeah, that'll make it easier.
Because
Right?
I don't see them.
You can also, Greg, on your end, if you click on the dice drawer, just click on the die.
Okay.
It will show the dice history down at the bottom.
Okay, great. I see it.
Yeah, you can see your roll and my roll. A question from Zeph Wagner in chat. What does the 7 and the star mean in the upper right? So the 7 with the bullseye and the star is this is kind of the bonus condition. If somehow during this contest here we get 7 bullseyes instead of 6, we're going to earn a bonus. And that star would be a gold cube going into our little star tracker here. And then we can spend those later on in the game. So you can use them for a bunch of sort of special skills. If you're lucky in your rolls, you can get a bonus. The bonuses are hard, though. I've only gotten a couple of bonuses, I think, in my time
they
playing.
are tough.
So they're very valuable.
Yeah, the stars. It's called a feat of marksmanship.
Yeah, I was dodging around that because I couldn't remember exactly what it was called. So luckily you swooped in there. Okay.
I forgive you.
Yeah. All right. So of valuable stuff we could use, we got 2 white halves, a black half, and a dot.
Well, I would say we need to keep the black half and the dot, and the rest is kind of garbage.
Oh yeah, we can't use white halves. I didn't notice that. All right. So it's yeah.
So
all right, a black half and a dot.
Okay. So I say you get rid of. I'll get rid of one of mine.
Yeah.
So that, and you can get rid of one of yours, so that you can roll 2 of yours. Did you follow?
Correct. Yep.
So I'm gonna just burn one of mine.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I can roll 2 of mine. Yep. Because you're doing the spending of your one of yours.
Yep. I'm doing the spending so that you can roll it for you.
Yep. All right. So we're gonna roll 2. All right. So we got 1 we can use.
Okay.
And then
what junk do we have left over? Do you have anything? No, that's it, right?
oh no, I should have rolled 3. You spent the 1, so I didn't roll 2. I should have rolled 3, right?
No, I gave up 1, so you got 1 roll from me.
Yep.
You gave up 1, you get 1 roll for you.
Yeah.
So there should have been 2 rolls that came out.
Okay.
That happened. So that's all we got.
Yeah. Yikes. All right.
That's not working so far.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good. Trash.
All right. Time.
Oh no, we got to do our black die.
Yep. Oh, so and this, of course, we just would choose who gets to roll it. We don't both get to do
okay.
a wild shot.
Just 1. All right. I'll fire it off here. Come on. Nothing.
Come on.
All right. So
this is gonna be hard.
yeah. So we got to get 6 on 4 sets. All right. You want to roll first?
Yep. Here I go.
Ooh, we can't.
Oh, come on. All right. Well, I'm gonna. You know what? Before you. Well, actually, you know what? Go ahead. Yeah, you should probably bring your roll out.
Okay.
So you can see
oh,
what's going
you
on.
only rolled 3, Greg. You got to roll 4. We got 4 accuracy on this one. Oh no, yeah. Sorry,
No,
I'm an idiot.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it with a handicap.
Yep. Okay. All right. So I roll 4. Hey, we got 1. Okay.
All right.
So I'm gonna lock in the
1.
the 2 blacks.
Right.
Okay.
All right. So let's lock in my dot.
Okay. Yep.
My pepper and my dot, and then we both can ditch. And then I'll ditch my 2 to roll. I mean, I'll ditch one of mine to roll the other again.
Yep.
And you can do the same.
Got it.
Right?
Yep.
So that's what I'll roll 1. Here I go.
Hey, that's good.
There we go.
Okay, and then I'm
All right,
ditching 1 and getting to roll.
Come on. Do it. All right. I'll roll the wild shot this time.
Cool. Nothing.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. All right, so we've succeeded in getting one bullseye.
I don't even. Yeah. So we could. It can still be done.
Yeah, we got two more. Oh yeah, we'd have to do two more rolls. We'd have to get a couple on each and the wild shot, right? So.
Yeah, we're not doing so hot here.
So a question from chat. That's not two. No, this is only this was our roll right here. We got 3 halves, and then this half and the dot. Oh no, that is. Oh no, it doesn't. You can't. Okay, so this doesn't create one because this guy has a half there. So this is not a valid combination to make.
You would need two of the. You need 2 of the half circles.
Yeah, we would. It would need to be
one of those.
It would need to be this. Yep, and then we'd get it. So all right. Thanks for checking on us there, Holistic. That was good. Okay, so let's do set 3. I'll roll first.
Here we go.
Oh, we rolled them all at the same time. That's
good. Oh, sorry.
That's
sorry. Oh, I got one. Yep. I got a bullseye.
Yeah. So.
A natural.
And yeah, you got a dot and a circle, right?
Which is the worst bullseye to get because I used up 3.
Oh, you used up all of yours.
Whatever.
Yeah, so you're locking them all in. Okay, so.
Yeah, I guess I have to.
So Greg's got 1. So that's fine. That's better than we did last time. And then I got a black half, which I'll lock. And then I need to spend 2 to roll 1.
So what else did you get?
I got
You can't. Oh no, keep the circle too.
Oh yeah.
You in fact, well yeah, you got to keep the circle.
Yeah. I'll keep
so so now we got 2 ways to go here.
Yep, and I'll spend my 1 die to roll again.
The odds are good.
Yep. So let's see what I got. Okay. Ugh. Doesn't work.
But no. Okay, so we have 1, and then you want to roll the wild shot?
Yeah, sure. Nothing.
Oh my god.
The dice are not on our side for this one. So
no.
All right. So we got 2, and that's been
not me.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Not me.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Diego can't take credit for this one. So I don't think this one's possible anymore, is it?
Nope.
All right.
Nope. It's a no-go.
It's a fail. Okay. Well, that is what it is.
That's about as bad as you can do.
A 2.
On 4 sets, we managed to get 2 bullseyes. That's pretty bad.
All right. Well, it's all right. You know, bad things happen. It's fine.
They do.
All right. So we missed. So we're going to 63. So we're not going to get the benefit of whatever happened if we'd have done that well. And I'm going to not look at that. And then this is a perfect example of a card that has a unique back. So as you're flipping through the deck, you're going to run into cards that are unique, which is cool. This is that art that we were already talking about at the beginning, Hildegard and the Tiny Boat. And there's a comment from chat. Oh yeah, Holistic Developer, I will make the Spire's End logo a little bit smaller so you can see some more of the rolls. There we go. Okay, so now we're on to card 63. Let's find out what happens. All right, so now we're into fishing. Fishing is interesting. You got to buy bait if you want to do fishing. And so you head down to the tackle shop to buy bait. You'll need it to fish. Tallog keeps a spare fishing rod for you behind the counter. All right, so here's the deal. You get to buy cubes that represent your bait. You can get a red cube for free. You can get a gray cube for 1 gold, and you can get a stink worm, which I think is a great name for bait, for 2 gold. I only have 1 gold, so I am going to get a red cube, and I'm going to spend the gold to get the whistle cricket, a gray cube. And you can see that you take the cubes of the associated colors, so I'm just going to take a red and a gray. And if you're broke, horse flies are free. I'm going to get one anyway. And then we place the fishing rod in our inventory. All right, and then we're going to go to card 64, so I'll do that. Okay, so I'll actually leave this down here so we can see it. All right, so we're going to go to card 64, and I'm going to draw that face up, and then I'm going to grab my bait. And this is very interesting. This is the fishing. I don't want to call it a mini game, Greg. What do you call this? Just kind of like a different interaction mode or something? What are you calling these kind of sections that are different?
I don't know if I guess I don't know if I have a name for it. It's just kind of like a twist on the mechanic, I guess.
Yeah. So in this case, you pull 3 cards. There are 3 91s. You pull all 3 of them, and they have the exact same back. And then you shuffle them and then lay them out face down. And then you place your bets. I say bets because I always call things bets when I'm playing games. You choose which cards you want to put your bait on. If I had 3 bait, I could cover all 3 of them. But I only have 2 bait. So I can choose if I want to spend my bait on one card, spread it out a little bit. It's up to you. And so I'm going to shuffle these 3 cards. And then I'm going to draw them to the table face down. And there they are. So I would have these 3 cards in front of me, and I can choose what I want to place my bait on. Go ahead.
So these represent the different fishing spots on Cobble Creek. So, it's kind of like, where are you going to go cast? You're going to cast to the left, to the right, to the middle, that kind of thing.
And then you can see that there's going to be a test. So once I place my bait, I'm going to roll with an accuracy of 4 and 1 set, and I need to try to get this combination. I need to use these 3 types to get 1 bullseye, right? Yep. And then if I get the bullseye, I get to flip the card over, and if my bait matches, I get a benefit, right? So I'm going to, because I'm a wimp, put both of my...
catch a fish.
Yeah, I'm going to put both my bait on the same card. Because I want to maximize my chances of getting something good if I am able to win this encounter here, right? So I need to roll 4 dice. I need to get 1 bullseye on 4 dice. If I can't do that, I'm just going to give up. I think if I can't get this one, I'm going to give up with the rolling tonight entirely. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, here we go. 4-shot die. We did it.
All right. Yep, we already
did it. All right, so a circle and a dot gives me a success, and now I get to flip this card over. It's a sunfish. All right, so his bait is horsefly, whistle cricket, or stingray.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them, right? So I would have caught him no matter what I put on there. Whatever. I wasted my bait.
You did it.
Bravo! Consuming this fish. Go ahead, Greg.
You have to use it. Your bait. It doesn't. You can't keep it for later.
Well, yeah, that's true. I could have tried to do two different fishing holes.
Yeah, right.
So bravo! Consuming this fish will bring you luck. That sounds good. You can now use the gray wild shot dice. Yes. So this is an instance when I unlocked the second wild shot die that I'm going to have available to me. So the gray one. You can now use the gray wild shot dice. Remember that only 1 wild shot dice can be rolled at the end of each set. So I caught this fish. That's wonderful. I feel really good about myself now that I caught that fish. So this guy won't go to the back. I'm going to just put him down here. Okay, so that's fishing lessons. And we can actually draw these over here. And now we're going to go to card 66. Put this here. All right, Crossroads. The road ahead forks into 2. An old sign marks Hickory Hills to the right and Pointy Peaks to the left. Both will eventually lead to Crow Falls and from there to the coast, but you're not sure which to take. What to do? Here we go. I know what's happening. A crow lands on the right side of the sign. Maybe the crows know the way? But then another lands on the left. Then another. They start to furiously caw at you and ruffle their feathers. These birds look angry. One of them leaps forward in your direction. The crows attack. All right, so we're going into face-off mode. We're going to draw cards 67 and 68, which are the next 2 cards, and we get to see some very cool art. Let me get my bait out of the way here. All right, so let's take a quick look at this Hildegard shot.
Yeah.
And then also take a look at this crow. I really like these crows. I think, Diego, you have channeled the insanity of a bird. I just like how...
It's true.
I like how wild these crows look. They are very cool.
Those were really, really fun to draw. Yeah. And I had a really good time drawing those. Yeah. It was fun.
They're fantastic.
All right, so when you're in face-off mode, things are a little bit different. You lay out the cards this way, and now these guys can fight back. So things get a little bit dicier. We're going to be attacking by rolling in a very similar way to your normal modes that you've seen so far. But then these guys are going to get a turn, and they're going to be able to finesse their shots, and they're going to be able to be trying to damage us and take us down, right? If you look at the Crow card, things look pretty similar to what you have seen in the past. We need 8 bullseyes to defeat this Crow, and the dice down the right-hand side are the dice that we're able to use to make those bullseyes. So the black half, the white macaroni noodle, and the dot. And then on the left-hand side, you will see essentially a damage meter for Hildegard. That as the Crow is attacking, the Crow is going to be filling up that damage meter as the Crow gets those shapes. So from left to right, we're going to fill. If the Crow gets a white half, the Crow gets to fill that half. If the Crow gets the black half, he gets to fill the black half. But he has to do it in order on his rolls. And if he hits me 7 times before I hit him with 8 bullseyes, I will lose the combat. Now, there's a cool thing that I'm able to do, which is block the Crow. So if I have leftover dice, I can actually use those leftovers to put a black cube on this damage meter to keep the Crow from hitting me in that space. He would have to destroy the block before he hits me.
Yeah, but only on the red ones. Those gray ones are non-blockable.
Cool. And Greg, is this a change to the art? Is this now where the block cubes go?
Yes.
Okay,
we
cool.
put the block cubes there so that we can still actually see the shapes.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Right. And then we have those tabs for those tabs underneath tell us what triggers when those spaces are filled with a hit.
Right. So things can start to go crazy as it goes along, and you start to get more damage. Different effects can occur. And that might have been a lot to understand at first, but you're going to get it in 2 seconds once we start actually kind of rolling. The Crows have an accuracy of 3, so they're going to roll 3 dice, and they will do the same process. They roll the 3, and then they finesse. And essentially, Greg, is it right to say like you just have to play them as if they're you, right? Like they're smart. They have kind of like they know that it might be good for them to hold on to a later shape because they might be able to get there.
Yeah, the idea is that you actually can't make any decisions for the Crow because if they roll something and they can potentially use it, they have to keep it.
Got it.
It'll make sense once you see it.
All right, so
for those,
what do we want to just do like a real face-off here, one of us versus the other? I think we should do. I think we should do that, right? Just like let's play this one player, right? So we're gonna go back real quick to like 1 player mode versus the Crows, and one of us will roll for Hildegard, and the other will roll for the Crows.
Diego should be the Crows.
All right, so Diego gets to be the Crows.
I vote for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So Diego, you get to be the Crows, and
you can be Hildegard.
I'm going to be Hildegard. All right, so I get to go first. I get 4 dice, and I'm going to try to start taking out some Crows. Let me put my little marker over here. So we have 0 bullseyes, and I'm going to roll 4 shot dice. All right, that's a good start. I am going to lock in the black and the white, so I get 1. And I'm going to roll the other 2. Yeah, I'm going to roll the other 2. So now I'm going to roll 2. All right, I got another white.
Oh, what do you do, though?
I'm going to lock in the white and then roll again.
Wow.
Hey, all right. The tides are turning. All right, so then I'm going to roll my new fancy gray wild shot die because I've never actually rolled a gray wild shot die, so I'm going to do so.
Nice.
I like seeing that. All right. So I'm going to that means I get 3 bullseyes. So I'm going to put those on you. And that's the way to start.
Now we're playing.
Yeah, Diego, you're going down, man. All right, so Diego gets to roll 3 dice, And we'll show
3?
you. Yeah,
Okay.
3 for you, and we'll show you how this works. All right, so here's what Greg meant, that if he could potentially use it, he will keep it. So, like I said, these have to be done in order, okay? So the first one would be a white half, and then the black half, and then the circle. Since it's feasible that the crows could use the black half, they will lock the black half. So they're going to lock in the black half, and then Diego will roll 2. And then they'd lock the circle, I believe, right? So this is danger zone for me. So if Diego
this
can
could
roll,
be devastating.
Yeah, if he can roll a half white here, we're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Oh,
Yes.
damn.
Okay. So as a result, I don't take any hits because they have to be done in order. So since he didn't get the white half, I don't take any hits, and I'm breathing here, living another day. A question from chat, Zeph Wagner. What's the difference between black and gray? So the sides are a little bit different. Let me roll. I'm just going to roll a few of these grays all at once. The side mix is different, and sometimes the later ones have different symbols on them. So the gray die has a up arrow on it. Go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, each dice has a different condition, a different effect.
Yeah, so this up arrow right here is I'm misremembering. This is that I get to change one, right? Is that what the up arrow is? Okay.
You get to change one of your choice.
Cool. So I get to change one of my dice. The X is I lose one of my locked in dice, and the bullseye is obviously bullseye. And then there's a reroll as well.
Mm-hmm.
Those
are the 4 different ones.
If you get a reroll, then you get to reroll one of your locked dice. Okay, so I put 3 on the crows. I'm coming at you again.
Let's go.
Okay. So my first round was so good. I'm okay with.
You got to keep 2 of those half circles, right?
Yeah, I'm going to keep 2 half circles. I'm okay if I don't get as many bullseyes this round. And then I'm going to roll 2. All right,
nice.
Sweet. So I lock in. So I got 1, and then I'm going to roll 1.
Which kind of doesn't have a purpose.
Yeah. I mean, unless I could have gotten a block, right? With the
right. Yeah.
With the junk.
Well, actually, you can't do that either because you're on the gray. But you could have if that person.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. You're right. So okay. So I got one more I'm going to roll my gray wild shot. Oh, no, I don't get to roll 4 gray wild shot.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool, but I only get 1. Okay, nothing. All right, so I put 1 more hit on it. And now Diego's up.
3 dice?
3 dice.
3 dice.
Okay, so he's going to lock both of those.
Oh, my God, he's going to both again.
So he's going to lock again. He's put me in this very dangerous position twice now. And if he can get that white half, I'm in danger.
No.
I'm just surviving here. I haven't done any blocking yet. We'll see if I can do some. Oh, I can't block, right? Because I got to wait until he's hit.
No, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna take these crows down before they hit me.
The crows may not.
Okay. Well, that's kind of crummy, but I'll keep the dot. I guess I'm gonna keep.
Just keep the half.
I think just the
half.
Yeah, I think just the half bullseye because that gives me more chances for successes. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well.
All right. No, that's nothing. You can't use that.
Oh, circles aren't available. Oh man.
Well, I mean, you got to lock in something.
Yeah,
so.
I'll lock in a circle, but I can't use it. Okay.
Yeah.
And then my final one. Give me another half, baby.
Nothing.
Okay, nothing there. And then I'll roll my wild shot. You celebrated too soon, Diego.
Yeah.
All right, so I've put 5 up on him, and crows are coming back.
Come on, get on the board.
Why aren't you using the slingshot?
I wanted to try because I wanted to
The
get
fish.
I wanted to get that lucky fish going. I was hoping to get
Yeah.
the up arrow. I haven't gotten the up arrow yet. So
You're throwing me fishes.
yeah, exactly.
I'm eating fishes.
I'm feasting on the fish while I'm attacking you. Okay, so the circle
The
you
circle.
would lock in. Yep.
I have to lock the dog. No, because
You couldn't
I
use
can't
it.
win.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. There's no way you could get to the fourth level
Yeah.
there.
Oh my gosh. He's not going to get on the board.
Yeah, this is wild. Okay, so you just got to lock something. So we'll just lock this. And then he hasn't rolled a single white half.
I know. Wow.
Yes.
Well, I guess the crows are having a bad day.
Yeah, right before the stream started, I got into the code and I typed out, "Do not allow Diego to roll half white circles." I'm going to make him look really bad on the stream.
I believe you.
Okay, so I'm coming back at you. All right, so I got a bullseye there.
There's one.
So I'll lock it in, because why not? And then there's nothing else I can do, right? There's no other benefit
Except for the
that I
wild shot.
generate there. So a blank, that's fine. And then I'm going to roll my wild shot.
Ah,
It's 2 more. These guys are on the ropes.
Come on.
All right,
Come
Diego,
on,
you
crows.
got to hit me once.
This is it.
I have. If I hit you once, I'm good, or
No, you would have to hit me 7 times.
No,
to
you-
win. Yeah.
You haven't been doing as well as you could.
That's nothing.
This is
nothing.
not looking good for the crows.
The crows are just going to burst into like a pile of feathers here at the end.
Come on, crows, get on the board. Oh, this is sad.
Yeah.
So sad.
The humanity.
We're not going to even get to show the mechanics of the fight. Oh, jeez.
Oh man, you got to
how-
get to Vegas and bet against yourself.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, how many rolls of those dice has he done without getting a single?
I think it's 4 rounds at least, right? Of an accuracy 3. So yeah, that's a ton of dice rolls.
Wow.
Okay, so let's imagine for a second to make things interesting.
That I hit you.
Yeah, I mean,
goodness.
let's imagine that he had hit me a couple times, right? Because I do want to show the mechanic, right? So
Well, we might as well just finish off because who knows what's coming next.
yeah, I guess that's fair. Okay, all right, that's fine. All right. So here we go. I'm going to attack. I can use the white half, and of course I'm rolling white halves.
Yeah, there's one on each die.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right.
Done.
And yeah, and I'll keep the white half, and I'll keep the black half because if I get 8, right? Oh no, there's no bonus. There's no bonus.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So yeah,
you got me all excited.
Yeah. So he's dead already, but I'll roll.
Yeah, that was some.
Okay.
Diego doesn't get to play anymore.
All right, so 8 damage. Goodbye, crows. So I net out of this. I net a heroic achievement. Greg, you gotta tell me what it's called again. I apologize.
It's a feat of marksmanship.
Feat of marksmanship. Okay. All right.
Did
so
you get one, Greg?
What's that?
Did you get one?
Yeah,
You're throwing dice.
I'm throwing the dice. Yeah, I managed to get the. I managed to do it. So I don't know what's going on.
All right, so we win. We get to go to card 73. So I'm gonna put this here, and then I'm gonna draw out to 73. Plucked luck. Free of the birds at last, you sit down and start plucking the pointy black feathers out of your hair and clothes. For a moment, you're able to sit in peace before you hear it. Something or someone is rustling behind you. Do you have conversation card number 13? Nope, I did not speak to Oyvind about the ministry, so I don't get any of that. Nope, I don't, so I go to 74. Uh-oh. Hurling husks. I've seen this art, I think. I've seen this art on somebody's Instagram page. Rather suddenly, you're hit in the back by something hard and blunt. The blow knocks you over. You turn to see a scarecrow not 10 feet away, hurling corn husks at you. This must be an enchantment to ward off those rabid crows. With all the feathers lying about, this one must be a little confused. Attack. All right. So we're attacking with 75 and 76.
And pull cards 96 and 97.
Yeah.
We got 4 cards to contend with here.
Garbage Party. Thanks for popping in. Garbage Party says, popping in to say how excited I am about this game. Your excitement is well-founded. So yeah, definitely.
Unless you're rolling for the crows.
Unless you are Diego and you're rolling for the crows. Yeah, exactly. All right, so then I got to pull, what is it, Greg? 96 and 97?
96 and 97,
so let me grab that for you here.
Then we're going to need to have the conditions handy. All right, I got them.
Okay, 96 and 97. So this is going to show some other cool sort of changes to the rules a little bit here. Okay. All right, so first we're going to take a look at this art.
Yeah.
So the first thing I said when I saw this card, I was talking to Greg a few months ago. I said, this guy reminds me of Jack Pumpkinhead from Return to Oz. Was there any discussion about Return to Oz?
There was.
Yes.
Because, well, I don't know if he knows it because I sent him a picture of Jack Pumpkinhead from it was an illustration from one of the old L. Frank Baum books, like way back in the day. I think it might have been Jack Pumpkinhead of Oz. I don't know. It was one of them. But yeah, he was the inspiration, but we wanted to do an evil version.
Yeah.
And Diego, he did the whole corn husk holster thing was all his, which was amazing. Right. I did not come up with that, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's the best thing I've ever seen.
I also love just sort of like the motion circles of them. Like I love the idea of like this guy throwing like dead perfect spirals of corn husks, right? Just like flinging them at you. I love it.
I also love the contortion of his arms, like the way they're so unnatural and twisted. I just think it looks so nice to see the arms like that. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, very very cool. All right, so Scarecrow we're gonna have to deal with here, and he's got some special rules. All right, so the cards that I pulled from the deck are the actual rules cards for setup. So the Scarecrow throws corn missiles. They will affect your sets. Layout cards 75, 97, and 76 is pictured below. So we're going to have this wild, tame, flub hit card in the middle. And at the end of each of Hildegard's sets, we're going to turn card 97 counterclockwise. So it starts with wild, and then we're going to rotate it every single set. The status effect listed will affect Hildegard's set. So it will have wild, then tame, then flub, then hit. The Corn of Chaos can be removed from play if you hit it with any 3 bullseyes. So please note, Hildegard doesn't get a separate attack against the Corn of Chaos. If the Scarecrow is defeated first, the encounter is over. All right, so we can attack the Corn of Chaos to try to take it out of the match, or we can keep just ignoring the Corn of Chaos and going at the Scarecrow. Your choice. It seems to me like it's probably best to try to take out the Corn of Chaos, but I don't know. We'll find out. All right, so it starts with Wild. And then, Greg, do you have the status effects there?
I do.
Because that's one
I want to request to be the Scarecrow.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right, Diego, do you want to roll against him? Do you want to be Hildegard?
Okay.
All right. So
are you? Maybe the game will be over.
Yeah. Well, right. Maybe Hildegard's about to get destroyed by the Scarecrow here.
We'll see how it goes. Not.
All right, so Hildegard starts with an accuracy of 4, and then Greg, what's the wild effect that's going to be triggered?
Okay, so that's actually a good thing since that's in green. The wild is may re-roll a wild shot on the next set. Cool. So this is the next set in terms of this game. So if Hildegard, if you want to re-roll your wild shot, you have the ability to do so.
Cool. All right, Diego, so you're starting with 4 accuracy.
There you go.
No.
All right, so the
All
two.
right, well, there's one.
Yeah, the two whites. The two white halves are good.
Now I get the.
Roll 2 more.
Yep, 2 more. All right. Well, the dot you can use. Yeah, I mean, I think the dot, and then if you roll a circle, we get a second one. I'm definitely on Team Hildegard here.
Oh.
Okay. All right, then your choice. You either get the black wild shot or you get the gray wild shot. You can do the fish luck or you can use your slingshot. Your call.
Slingshot.
All right.
So I get the black.
Yep. And then you get to re-roll it if you want to.
Yeah, you get to re-roll it if you want, which I don't see why you wouldn't.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, so we only got one bullseye on this guy.
All right. It's
All right,
time for me
Greg.
to do some damage.
Yeah,
I'm doing some damage. So what I get? Okay, so I can hold on to 1.
Yep, hold on to the dot.
And I will roll. And I will just roll 1 more.
Yep.
All right. Wow.
Hildegard is invincible.
Another exciting round
tonight. Invincible. All right, have at it, Diego.
All right. So wait, we got to flip the card.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so it
Court
goes.
of Chaos is twisting.
So it goes counterclockwise, right? So it's a tame.
So we go to tame.
Cool.
There we go. So tame means no wild shot on this set.
Ooh. All right. So you're gonna get no wild shot. All right, Diego. Let's start with the 4. I know that you rolled them already, but let's just do a fresh roll. Okay, so I think the circle and the half bullseye, right? Like this one for sure. And
that's
then
what I would do.
I think the circle, because that you just need the dot.
Okay.
Nice. Now you can roll those half whites.
Yeah, you're rolling them all day now.
Yeah, you're just crushing them. And we can't use that one. And we get no wild shot because it's a tame round.
So that's it.
So we just get the 1.
All right. Keep me on the board here. I want to be on the board.
There it is.
There we go. All right.
Circle.
So lock it in the circle.
All right. Here we go. 2.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, lock in.
So I'm on 3. Let's get that. No. All right. So I'm in.
All right.
I'm on the board.
So on the board, we're gonna cover up the circle. So what's interesting is now that gray is passed and we have these reddish ones in here, this is when Diego can actually start playing blocks, and he might choose to do so
If he wants.
If he wants to, he doesn't have to. So cool. All right. And then we're rotating the corn, right?
Yeah, we are indeed. Time for flub. Flub means minus 1 shot die on this set. So you're down to 3.
Good luck, Diego. Okay, circle. It seems like the circle is the lock in there, right?
Yeah, that's the only one.
Okay, well that's garbage.
All right, one more try.
Dot. Oh.
No.
All right, and no wild shot. So, we get a wild shot.
No, you get the wild
Yeah.
shot. Yep, you get the wild shot.
Let's go with the fish.
Ooh, fish die.
No.
Oh, okay. So we get to change
You
any
can-
die.
Yeah, you can change one. So
we could change this guy to a dot and get
Yeah.
a bullseye, or change it to a dot and play some defense. So that's your call, Diego, which you would rather do. A hit on the Scarecrow or put a block on your own health bar.
I don't know.
take the hit.
The hit, yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's harder. I think it's harder to get hits than blocks. So, all right. And then this guy is going to rotate at the end of the set, and now it's Greg's Scarecrow turn.
Okay, well, he automatically gets a hit. So
Oh, that's what hit is? Well, does that happen on
Yep.
when it's on his turn or when the rotation occurs?
It happens when the rotation. It's on Hildegard's set,
Okay.
so it's that Corrin has just hit. So
Okay. Cool.
she automatically gets hit, and then oh wait, but it's my turn.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. That's fine.
Yep. Okay.
So.
Okay, so we're gonna keep 1.
Yep.
I'm gonna roll 2. All right.
Nothing
So we're gonna
there.
keep 1, and I'm gonna roll 1. All right. That's it for me.
Nothing. All right. So now hit. Now hit is that she takes a hit.
Yep.
Oh,
Hit as she
man.
takes a hit.
That's a bummer. All right. Have at it, Diego.
Damn.
All right. So the circle seems like the thing to
Yeah.
keep there. Just more circles. Just load up on circles, I guess. Hope for some dots here. Hey, there's
All
one.
right.
All right.
Yeah.
And then either a dot or a half.
Nah.
Didn't get it. All right, so another hit. And Greg is up.
Wild shot.
Do I have
wild shot.
the-
Yeah, forgot about wild
wild-
shot. Yeah, that happens to me all the time. I always forget about the wild shot.
No.
Nice.
Oh,
Check
All right, so you got.
change it to a dot, and then
Yep.
we
Yeah.
hit him twice. Nice.
How do I change it?
Oh yeah, I can just.
Well,
There we go.
mentally we did it in our heads.
All right, so he hit for 2, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so then this will
Okay.
rotate for next turn. We'll get the wild, and Greg's going after him.
Nothing.
Nothing. There you go.
There we go.
All right, a
Number
map.
3,
Okay.
and then we'll roll 1. Come on, Scarecrow. All right.
All
So
right.
3 deep. 3 to 6.
All right. Diego's up. All right. Let's see.
What do we got? We got 1.
You got one
One.
full one,
Oh no.
and probably keep that white half, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
they
not
just-
good at getting those.
Yeah, the white half. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We'll see if you get another
You're
half.
not.
I have to roll just one.
Just one. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Tension. It's like, no! No!
where'd you go?
Look at that! It hits, and then roll your wild shot. I would because you can roll an X on the wild shot, which would screw you up.
Black or gray?
I think gray, because does the gray have the
you want
X?
to go gray. It does.
Gray?
Okay.
They all have the X.
They all have the
but-
X. Okay.
Oh,
Ooh,
jeez.
jeez.
Man.
3, 1, 2, 3, 9. The Scarecrow is defeated. Dang! Look at that. Greg
At
tried
least he
to
put up a better fight.
Yeah, and this is good because now Diego can hold that over your head forever. You know, remember that time
Yeah.
when I beat you when you were playing the Scarecrow? Awesome. Okay, so if we win, we go to card 82, which we won. I'm team Hildegard. All right, cool. So these go in the pile. Pummeled Pumpkin. You watch in satisfaction as the Scarecrow's pumpkin head bursts in an explosion of orange goop and seeds. Its tattered burlap arms drop lifeless to its sides. The fray has left you covered from head to toe in crow feathers and pumpkin innards, and you didn't pack any extra clothes. It's been a rough morning, but it could have been worse. After wiping yourself down, you notice a note nailed to the Scarecrow's post. If you would like to read it, pull card 84.
But we're not doing that because that's top secret.
Oh, okay. So we're not we're not reading the note. Okay, that's perfect. All right. So which way do we want to go? Diego, you got the big win. Do you want to go to Hickory Hills or Pointy Peaks?
Pointy peaks.
Pointy peaks. All right.
If only we could.
Oh, do we not have card 104?
No, that's
Sorry.
Pointy Peaks and Hickory Hills are chapter 2.
Nice. Okay, cool.
So
we came to the conclusion of chapter 1. Now I assume there are different ways that you can get to those conclusions because this is a Spire's End game. But this is the first time I've been in the Scarecrow fight, I think. So I've seen the art, but I've never played it with the spinning corn and stuff in the middle. I like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
My last playthrough went darker. I ended up in a cage at one point, I think.
Oh, that's chapter 2 stuff.
Oh no!
Tight lip.
Okay, all right, we're gonna have to cut. I'll tell the producer, cut that.
You've gone further than most.
Okay, all right. So I was never in a cage. That was a hallucination brought on by a gas leak in my house.
Yeah, that was a different Spire's End game.
right. Cool. No, this was good. It's actually kind of interesting, Greg. I don't know if you've considered you could play this with just 3 people kind of taking turns going through the story. I think that's kind of a neat way to play it, to be honest with you. Just sort of experience it together kind of thing. I like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it was meant to be like that, where you could do this. But it's kind of like the first game, too, where you could have 2 people playing and then one person kind of playing the bad guy and stuff like that. But I felt it's kind of like cheating to say it's a 3-player game.
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
I don't feel like I can actually say, hey, this is a... so I've always kind of settled in with the 2-player thing. But yeah, I think 3 people can totally do this together and have a great time.
Yeah, and you can debate what your decisions are. I mean, I think that's one of the things that I like the most when I play Spire's End with my wife is we also kind of forget oh man, did we do this last time or not? I get the feeling that we didn't follow that old woman last time. Should we follow her again? I like that. I like doing it with another person. I totally understand people would play it solo, but I really do enjoy it more as kind of a group thing, which is cool. Let's see. A couple questions from chat. Zeph Wagner says, yeah, I'm stoked for this. The quick combat seems cool. Yeah, and I think one thing that I will say is that physically it goes even faster, right? So all of us were getting slowed down by just sort of the interface of changing dice and all that sort of stuff. When you're playing it physically, it's bam, 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 and each round is over. So it's even quicker than we were able to show today, which is great. Also, I like the aesthetic. It totally does remind me of Wizard of Oz. I used to read all the original books, and the vibe is reminiscent of that. Yeah, I like some of those original Wizard of Oz stuff because it's surreal, and it's ooh, this is kind of a little, it's so saccharine that it's a little bit creepy, which is what I like about sort of those Wizard of Oz, and especially Return to Oz as a movie. That movie messed me up as a kid.
There's some weirdness in there.
A little bit of something it's undercurrent. A little bit weird.
It's not all comfortable.
Yeah, which I think is cool. Vorpal Thad, oh, I know him. Vorpal Thad says, "Is there any draft art you're willing to sneak peek tonight?" Diego, do you want to just hold up something in the background? I don't know if that's. I don't know if
I'm allowed.
We don't have any. I mean, everything that's in there is. I mean, we don't have anything else that we're working on yet. It was. It's kind of everything we have is in the game. We didn't see. I think there's a few we didn't see. But yeah,
I have the guy is playing a guitar. It's another fighting card.
Oh yeah, you could show that if you want. I think I've shown that on the Instagram page.
Yeah.
If you can.
Let me know if you see it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's looking real good, and I see some symbols there that I recognize.
Oh yeah, you
do. Right, I'm gonna make Diego a little bit bigger so we can get that real visible here on the stream. I love it. I love it.
Sorry.
He is somebody that you may or may not see in chapter 2.
Okay, cool. Yeah, one of the things I am very excited about is that this is a prequel, so we know that Hildegard ends up in the Spire, in Spire's End. So I'm just kind of very interested to see more details about kind of how she gets there.
Oh, He's got something.
Oh yeah. She's
We didn't
the thief,
we didn't run
right?
into her.
Yeah.
Yep. That's one along the way.
Yep. Very cool.
That could have run into. That's actually, that's one of my favorites. I love that one.
Yeah.
That was one where he went off and did it, and it was just like he showed me it. I was like, we're done. I was like, that's it. Just give it to me.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
There's a guy.
I want to color it.
There's a guy in the market that I really like too. Let me grab him. And pull him in.
Yeah, our guy with the turban.
Yeah. The street merchant. I'm gonna drag and drop him in.
Yeah.
So that is the first thing that Diego did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this guy a lot. He looks really cool. So this is a guy you can run into in the market early in the game.
Right.
That we did not, because we made some decisions that we didn't run into and deal with him.
Right.
But
and I wanted to have it kind of like the city, like kind of a little melting pot, kind of like almost like a trading post where you have like kind of different parts of the world there, different nationalities and things. So I wanted to have it. Yeah.
That's cool.
Another
question. Hardenbard says, I like games that reward my forgetfulness. LOL. Yeah. Like I like games, to be honest. I like games that there's not like a ton of pressure to be like, oh, I really have to. Don't get me wrong. I like games that are very crunchy and you really have to worry a lot about like keeping track of all sorts of little numbers and stuff. But I also like games where it's like kind of a rest for my brain in terms of like doing a lot of math.
Yeah.
So I like games where it's little dice rolling and then you move on, and then little dice rolling and then you move on. And if like something happens that you like mess up a rule a little bit, it's okay. You just kind of keep enjoying the story. I think that's very cool.
Yeah, I wanted to have it be iconography and not numbers all the time. So I thought it'd be really nice to just have these shapes that we kind of put together and try and make the game real breezy, like with all the leaves and stuff, just kind of very, just light and just kind of fun. And you can just, I just want to go through this,
Yeah, does it have any age restriction or above? I don't know. I'm thinking on maybe playing with my daughter or something, so it could be fun.
Yeah, that's the whole point. I'm hoping that it's kind of one of those things where I feel like it's got the same. I put 10 on it, but I know your daughter's younger than that, but I think it's fine. Yeah. It's kind of like it's got the same amount of extreme events as like a Disney animated movie.
Yeah.
I mean.
No, and the cards will be in English, so I have to translate the story for her. So I could tell my own story.
Yeah, you get the opportunity to do some censoring there if you want.
Yeah. You won't need to. You won't need to unless you get trapped in a cage.
Yeah, but that's not in the game.
But that doesn't happen.
No,
it should be real. I mean, I'm hoping that it'll be light enough where you can play with your daughter, but it's not dumbed down, or it shouldn't turn anyone away that's like, someone like myself. I want to play it. And I think it's appealing, and it has enough going on for an adult
I want to draw it.
Yeah. And I want you to do it.
A couple other things of Dice and Men says Chad here. Hi, Greg.
Hey, that's one of our had some play testing over there at Dice and Men.
Oh, nice. That the narrative, he likes that the narrative, or they like that the narrative choices aren't obvious. Each option seems viable. That for me is always just been a hallmark of what Greg has put together. Is like you look at the choice and it's like, man, I don't know. Like it lets you decide maybe what you would do instead of looking at it and trying to think like, what's the thing that I think is going to get me? What's the thing that's the gamiest thing to do? Like, I never feel when I'm making a decision in one of these games that, like, I'm trying to game the system. Instead, I say, oh, I'm playing Hildegard right now. Like, what do I want to do? Do I want to go here or do I want to go there? And it's never really obvious which is going to be the good or the bad decision. And in a lot of cases, they're both good or they're both bad because the branching allows it to be like that. So very cool. Hardenbart says it's not a cage. It's just a cheap Airbnb. Yeah.
Very cheap.
You're right. Yeah, exactly. And then there was a question in there that I skipped over from Zeph Wagner. When does the Kickstarter start again? I was going to kick that one to you, Greg. What's your kind of hope or guess for the timeline?
And I set the date, announced it yesterday, right? July 13th.
Cool. So
July 13th is day. I really, really wanted to get it before July, but the stars just aren't aligning. There's actually one of the big things is this week the prototype for the dice come in. So I really wanted to have those to be able to put those on like the Kickstarter page, take some pictures of them and things like that. I think that they're important. They're a really important part of the game. So
yeah, I mean, I was going to ask you about that, Greg, because I think that the color scheme is really cool. How has been that process of sourcing? I mean, they're not really pastel colors, but they're not like red, green, blue. Yeah. Has that been tough to get it just right the way that you want?
Yeah, I actually took red out. I tried to make red the one color I didn't use, because of the last game is, there's just so much red.
Yeah.
So I tried to make all the reds kind of turn a little bit burnt orange, have like kind of a little bit of, yeah. So I tried to change it to, and this is one of that kind of orange and the blues are kind of my favorite color combination. So I tried to pick 3 base colors for each chapter, and it's going to kind of flow with the seasons a little bit. The game primarily, it's not doesn't take place over a long period of time, so it's kind of all the fall. But I picked, kind of like 3 different colors for the 4 chapters, so you kind of get a different theme of fall in each of them.
A question for Holistic Developer: how long will the campaign run this time?
Well, we did all 4 chapters. Have the same amount of cards. So
the Kickstarter campaign, I think.
It just your standard 30 days.
Yeah.
Don't most?
Well,
most do that,
it is
right?
weird. It
Some
seems like
go
a lot of people
shorter.
are doing shorter lately, which is I think that. I mean, I'm reading into this a little bit, but I think that a lot of the times that's like, established. Like if Simon does a game, they know that the first 5 days or whatever is
5 days
the vast majority of their backers. So
yeah.
So I think they do the shorter ones, but it's kind of a mix between that 18 to 30.
Yeah, I had planned on making it 30, and it'll be weird when people are watching this on the Kickstarter and I say it's a different amount of days than it's actually going to take. Yeah. But the plan as of May 25th is to do it 30 days.
Cool.
So, we'll see.
Nice. Diego, is this something, are you going to try to do more? I mean, I know you're going to be busy with this for a long while, but do you think that game art is something that you might want to do for in the future as well? Or, how did you, how did you come kind of across this?
I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun. Is maybe a platform for drawing stuff out of my comfort zone. And yeah, I'm having fun. It's been great, and have the physical card in your hands when it's done, it will be great. So I can't wait.
So yeah, there they are.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You do have the prototype. I saw the photos.
I do have them here.
I love it.
Yeah,
I want to hold those.
Yeah. So here's here she is.
Cool.
Great.
Yeah, it's looking really nice, and there's a little street merchant.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
awesome.
they feel great. And the other just real quick challenge was getting the game to fit in a poker-sized card. It was such a challenge to get that much content on each card and make it feel nice and not feel cramped. And I mean, I think it feels really nice. So anyhow,
cool.
I'm happy with how things are going.
I am too. I mean, I hope everybody who was able to watch the stream tonight got a good kind of feel for what the game is like. I think it's a really cool extension of kind of twist on a lot of the gameplay stuff that was done in Spire's End, which I think is awesome because, I don't know, Greg, I don't know if you were concerned about coming back and kind of doing a similar thing, specifically trying to say, like, I'm going to make this one different instead of just kind of trying to do more of the same. Like, I think that you've hit it out of the park in that regard. So I'm excited for it. I'm irritated that I can't play further because
that's a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
I am too.
It is.
I am too. I feel like chapter 2 is so. I mean, There's all kinds of fun stuff in there I want to get to. And there's like 10 endings in chapter 1 alone. So we didn't hit any of them, you know?
Right.
So, well, we kind of did, but we didn't.
Yeah, we hit the one, but that didn't happen. So,
we didn't see it, so.
So yeah, I like as usual, and I think I said this the last time too, when you and I kind of met each other a couple of years ago. Spire's End was very far along, in my mind at least, in terms of just looking presentation wise really polished. I know that you didn't have a lot of the later stuff built, and you didn't have a lot of like the cards decided and stuff, but like this game is the same way. Like, I mean, it just feels like all these cards are like done and locked at this point. I mean, everything looks really, really good.
Yeah, chapter one, we just need to fill in the art, and it's just a matter of tinkering with like how much gold we get, you know?
Yeah.
It's just little teeny things, you know, like that. Like, you know, I mean, it looked like the boss fights seemed really easy this time, but this was kind of unusual.
Yeah.
It doesn't usually go that way. And obviously, whenever you're doing something with dice, it can go a few different ways. So,
yeah, because if you think about it, right? Like if you look at like the times that I've played it with you, I've done a ton of blocking because I was in really dicey straits. You know, I had taken some early shots and I was like, oh man, if I don't block these, I'm going to die real quick. And if you look at sort of the combination in each battle, the which ones you're allowed to block is different. So you got to kind of take your opportunities to block when you can, or else it's too late and then you get killed, or not killed, but you lose the combat, right? So yeah, I agree. I mean, I think the two previous times I played through this chapter, the battles I've had a much more difficult run. We just got weird dice tonight, so yeah, that's cool. But the thing is, I don't know. I still think you know, the same kind of thing can happen in essentially any game, and to me, it's still very fun. You know, so I don't know. It doesn't really bother me.
And in this game, it's kind of more or less what occurs when you win or lose, because you always go off to another card. You know, you always veer off. It's not like, you know, it's not like Spire's End where, you know, we all died. You know, the mushroom men wiped us out, and you're just done. You know, so here you're always going to go to another card. I think there might be an exception to that rule, but for the most part, you're always going to get to go someplace.
Yeah, very cool. Comment from a Holistic Developer, Diego, your artwork here is stellar. So everybody loves the art. You. Good, really, really impressed. I can't wait to see all the rest of it. So, okay, cool. I mean, is there other stuff that you wanted to make sure we covered tonight, Greg? Is there any other kind of stuff you wanted to let people know about? You know, you got that big pile of Spire's End in the background that are shipping out, right? Like you're in the middle of shipping all those
shipping
orders.
Out. Yeah, it's been just got them in a little bit ago, and man, every day I've been packing up boxes and sending them out. I just it was kind of messy back there, so I made a little pyramid.
Yeah.
For it.
Yeah, it looks
so
great,
you know, because I'm in the office here in the garage, so this is where this is where it all goes down. But no, I think we covered everything. I think I think we got it.
Cool. And then
Pretty
Diego,
good.
Is there anything else you wanted to mention, or folks just find you on your Instagram and from there they can jump off to your website and stuff?
Yeah, there you can find me there, and I'm waiting for the campaign to go live, and yeah,
I think it's
gonna throw all the cards.
I think it's gonna be big, Greg. I don't wanna jinx it, but by the time this is on the Kickstarter page, you know, people will know that I was right. They'll say, "Oh yeah, James was right." I think this one's going to be big. You know, you have an audience who really enjoyed your first game, and I think that this one is a really unique and interesting game in the same way that Spire's End was. So I think it's going to pique a ton of people's interest. So good luck for sure.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Well, if anybody else has any other questions, drop them in chat. Drop them in chat real quick. I'll kind of hang out for just a second more, and we can take them. For folks who watch the Vorpal Board stream, I'm going to be doing some more streaming. We kind of went offline for a bit there. While we were doing a bunch of the dev work, but I'm going to be back in the saddle a little bit for the next few weeks. I'm going to be doing Agropolis from Button Shy Games next week, I think Tuesday night, and then I'm going to be doing a game called Harsh Shadows, which is a solo game, which just finished a successful Kickstarter a couple weeks ago. I am going to be streaming that solo. It's a solo game. I'm going to be streaming that in a couple weeks, and then from there, I'm not sure yet where we'll head. but I think it might be some Jaws of the Lion. I am just getting back into Gloomhaven, so I'll probably do some more Gloomhaven work. But yeah, as usual, thanks to everybody who came. Greg and Diego, thank you so much for spending the time with me tonight and sharing the game with me. I really enjoyed playing it, and good luck with the Kickstarter and the run up to it. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
Yeah, it was awesome.
All right,
A lot of fun.
Everybody, good night.
Bye bye.